Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome back to the World of Madness SMP. Today, well, we did a thing. So, over the course of the past few weeks, I have been putting together this section of the Nether tunnel, and it is, for the most part, maybe 95% complete on this section. And I came to a realization. That there's probably not as much of the season left as I think, and this Nether tunnel, in order to make it all the way to where it meets up with the main Nether section, it will take ages. I still haven't even added in all the lava behind the bars and everything. It will take eons. And I've come to the realization that actually, I don't think I want to build all of this all the way down. It'll take so long. I'm already bored of building it, to be quite honest. I'm already bored of building it. And honestly, I don't think I want to build any more of it. There's just it's so much. There's so much. But it does look cool. It does look very cool. And I like it, honestly. I do like it. But I can't build any more of it. I'm so tired of just building this Nether tunnel. It's so much. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do any more. So I've decided that once I've finished off this final ceiling part, you see I'm missing trapdoors up here. Once I've finished that off, I'm going to cap it off at this end here. And then the rest of the Nether tunnel is going to be a much more simplified design. Still along the same lines of style, but a lot less ridiculous. Which honestly is what I did here. I cannot deny that I did something ridiculous, and it does look very cool. I'll say that, but it's a little bit much. Anyway. Today, we're not going to be focusing on that. We might do a little bit of that later on. But today, what I want to focus on is the sorting system. Now, the sorting system is something that I started on stream, and I've been doing a lot of research into. Let's actually head over here. Now, on stream, and I'll play it for you now, I actually did a bunch of work in order to clear out the area that I wanted for the storage system. And this is the result. We cleared out an entire mountain section. That hill is still there, but I'm eventually going to clear that out as well, and the dock's going to curve round to that beach over there, and it'll be about the same width as this one here. All of that in the water needs to go as well. But overall, this is what we've been left with. And we've got the warehouse here, the start of the warehouse, with all of the chests and stuff. And I've been looking into storage systems, sorting systems, to be precise. I've been looking into automated sorting systems. And I'll be honest, I've got a headache. I'm not the best at redstone. I enjoy doing it on occasion, but I'm not very good at it. And some of the designs for automated sorting systems are insane. Yeah. Insane would be accurate. So, here's the thing. I can either go for a small item sorting system that's maybe about 2 chests high, that can store 1 item per chest. Or I can do a manual sorting system where I just select what items I want to put in each chest and leave it at that and just sort it myself when I have the time. Because I'll be honest, storing 1 item per row of chests seems a little unnecessary. Like, maybe if I was storing massive amounts of items, but I'm not. I'm not doing that. I mean, I barely have the items to build what I need to build, and I'm not going to be getting any more. We're likely to be resetting the server within the next few months, and after that, what would be the point? So I'm probably going to end up setting up some form of manual sorting system, and that means I'm going to build a warehouse and everything as well. I'm going to do a brick and sort of stripped oak design. Oh, it's getting dark. Give me a second. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm probably going to do some sort of stripped oak and brick design here, because I'm liking the stripped oak vibes. And I actually built all of this on a live stream. And this, I'm actually really proud of. I was testing out some designs for the floor pattern. And actually, let me deploy my camera drone here. I managed, completely by accident, to make an allay face in the floor of my storage system. And that's, you know, that's quite cool. It was completely unintentional. But I think because of like 1.19 and everything, the allay has been sitting in the back of my mind rent-free. It's quite adorable. And this is what I came up with for the floor design. Now, I don't know what I want to do for the warehouse as a whole. I may do sort of like brick walls with nice big windows, and I'm gonna have 2 of them. So there's gonna be one over here, and then there's gonna be one over there. And I'm thinking like spruce roofing. Maybe with some brick edging and stuff like that. I want to make it relatively sort of antique looking, if you will. So yeah. Now, as you may have noticed, I've added a few mods onto the server. Or not onto the server, but onto my client. And one of those mods includes the camera mod, the spectator cam mod. It makes things a lot easier for me to be able to fly around and show you guys what I've been working on. So yeah, today we're going to be working on the warehouse over there. But I also want to do some touch-ups around the base. And one of those touch-ups is over here. Now, this is the back of the base. This is the back of my wheat field. And it's meant to be a really nice cliff that goes into sort of a big lake. And the lake sort of needs to be expanded out here, and it needs to look quite cool. But unfortunately, currently, it's not finished. And it needs a bit more sort of sculpting and terraining and actually bringing the cliff face down into the water and all of that. And there is other stuff that needs to be done. I need to put in the forest border along here as well. I'm probably not going to do that today. I hate doing trees. I hate doing trees so much. They're such a pain. I will do it eventually, but God knows it's going to give me a headache. So yeah. We also have a few other things that I want to do to touch up. Like, for example, the underside of the bridge, which has been incomplete since episode I don't know when. It's been a while. And then, last but not least, I also want to do the docks, the industrial dockyard area, which I think will look. Ow, that hurt quite a lot, quite a lot. But yeah, that's what I want to do today. Now, some of you may have noticed that that my audio is a little bit different today. I am testing out a new recording system. In that I am now testing to see whether I can use multi-track audio recording in OBS. I never used to be able to do it because of various reasons, but I'm testing out to see if that'll work a little bit better than my dual recording setup, which I used to do, which was basically recording the game and my Discord in OBS and then recording my voice through Audacity and then syncing them both up together. Sometimes it didn't work as well as I'd like because of lag on one end or another. What this also means is I will be able to adjust the Discord voice volume of people that I'm talking to in Discord independently when I'm editing, which I think will be quite helpful for any collaborations in the future. But yeah, that's why my voice might sound a little bit different. I wouldn't worry too much about it. At any rate, I'm gonna go and get started on building up this warehouse design, and then we shall show some stuff. Oh God. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I went away for about a day or two, maybe 2 days-ish, and I put myself together a little design for the warehouse. Now, it's not complete, I will say that much. The design that I have is pretty much everything except the back. It seems to be becoming a trend with my builds. I don't know what I want to do with the back yet. I'm half tempted to put a set of villagers, a pair of villagers at the back here so that I can trade pumpkins and melons and stuff to get emeralds, etc., etc. And then put in the other warehouse, put the actual villager trading hall, which would be interesting. At any rate, these are all the materials that I need, and I think I originally underestimated how many chests I would actually need for this entire build. I thought like maybe 60, 70 chests. No, I need 156. It's like, yeah, okay. That was unexpected. Anyway, these are all the materials that I need. And I am going to get started on this in the form of a third-person time-lapse. Now, for those of you that don't know, on the World of Madness server, I use a mod called Lightmatica. Lightmatica is a mod that is used by a bunch of different creators to sort of plan and scheme builds before we actually build them. And some people say that it's not very fair for us to use Lightmatica, but the problem with that argument is that Lightmatica is a client-side mod which you could install if you wanted, or like other people could install if they wanted to, etc., etc. And that there's not really an argument for fairness when it's literally just used for us to sort of plan builds, and it's just a different way of us working, basically. But yeah, I use Lightmatica, and I'm curious to actually know if you guys would actually like to see the previews of the builds before we actually build them. Because I have a testing world where I can show you all of the original builds where I've built them, but it's also a case of everything that I build in there. There's probably stuff in my testing world that I don't want to show on camera, and you know, it's something that I'd rather. Some of it I'd rather keep to myself, you know, for a surprise later on down the line. But yeah, I want to know if you guys would actually be interested in seeing the previews of the build before we build them. Now, it's basically a wireframe. It's basically one big ghost mesh. You walk through all the blocks. They're just rendered in for the client, not for the server. But I'd be interested in knowing if that is something that you guys would like to see as part of the building process. At any rate, we're going to get started with this third-person time-lapse, and we'll get ourselves a lovely manual organization warehouse, because God forbid I try my hand at auto-sorting. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? It is completed. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That does not look half bad in the background there. Yeah. We have completed the warehouse. I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks. It's sort of a late mid-century Victorian style, I think. Victorian Edwardian style warehouse with a lot of brick, a lot of exposed wooden beams, and etc., etc. It looks quite nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, you may notice, there is, well, there's a gaping hole in the back of my warehouse, and that's because it's actually not quite complete yet. Yeah. I may or may... Ooh. Oh, I'm in the water now. I may or may not have, when I was working on the design, I got so fed up with trying to build the back that I just didn't build it, when I was working in creative. And I still don't really know what I want to do for the back of the warehouse. I may like make it a sloped back that goes down. I'm not completely sure. It definitely needs work. I don't know what I'm doing with it. But other than that, other than the missing back, which I'll work on at some point, we have pretty much the entire warehouse complete. You've got a little sort of balcony area up here. You have a variety of chests all across the walls, each with their own like specific sets of contents. Now, this, for example, is the reason why an automated storage system wouldn't really work for me, because multi-item storage systems are actually really big. And building them is really difficult, and they are actually quite complicated, surprisingly enough. Like single item, so one item per chest, or one item per set of chests, is actually quite easy. It is relatively simple. But multi-item storage systems, where you have multiple items per chest, those are difficult. And that's sort of the sorting system that I wanted for auto-sorting in here. But there's not enough space. There is absolutely not enough space. So I decided, you know what, manual sorting is probably the best way to go here. It's just easier, to be honest. At this point, it's late in the season, as I've said. I doubt we'll be going for much longer. Anyway, yeah, this is the warehouse. There are a few things that I need to finish. As I said, I need to finish the back. But I'm pretty happy with the design as it stands so far. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Also, I'm slowly getting the hang of this camera mod, which is quite cool as well. Yeah, I still need to take down the beacon. I need to finish off the other sections of this area. What I think I might do is I might build a second warehouse, basically a mirror of this one, over here, and then I might build something else in the middle, like a harbour master's office or something like that. I'm not sure yet, but so far, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, there is one other thing that has happened. And it relates to villagers. Now, as you all know, villagers are the bane of most people's existence when it comes to stuff. And I've been trying to repair my village breeder. And it's not going well. It's not going well at all. So if you guys have any idea as to how to actually fix this, which it's been going very poorly, because the villagers keep sleeping, and then they keep popping out onto the beds, and my farmer villager specifically keeps sleeping, and he's not meant to do that. Yeah, I don't know what's gone wrong with it. The design is exactly the same as a lot of other people's designs. It used to work early in the season, and now it does not. I don't know what's gone wrong. But yeah, I don't know. As for that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have time for this episode. It's already a tad late. Well, I say a tad. It's already very late. But yeah, for now, though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this evening, for this episode, rather. Sorry, I'm still used to my streaming outros. I do those a lot more these days. But yeah, thank you all very much for joining us for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a very good evening, everybody, and a very, very good night. And in the interim between episodes, I'll see if I can finish off a bunch of stuff that's been lying around unfinished. And next episode, we'll do the cliff. I can't wait to do some terraforming. Some terraforming time-lapses. At any rate, thank you all very much for joining us this evening, everybody. Have a very good evening, and a very good night.